Just recently, allegations of sex abuse have come to light at Penn State, Syracuse, the Citadel, and even in the clubhouse at Fenway Park. Well, now there are explosive new charges against the president of the Amateur Athletic Union. 2 basketball players say they were sexually abused in the 1980s. So, is it a coincidence that all of these are being revealed now? And is sex abuse in sports more prevalent than in society as a whole? Joining us is Paul Mones, a criminal defense attorney who represents victims of sexual abuse. Last year, he won the largest verdict for sexual abuse against the Boy Scouts of America. Paul, thanks for being with us.
Good morning, Betty.
Appreciate it. All right, so it seems like every day we're hearing about another case in the headlines. Why do you think we're hearing about so many now?
I think we're hearing about it because people need permission to come out, and many people hide this for years and years because of shame and embarrassment. And in fact, most of the people will never come out. I mean, if the allegations, for instance, against any one of these people are proven true at any point, most people remain silent their whole lives and take it to their grave.
So you think there are many more than we're hearing about?
Oh, many more. The statistics, especially with boys being molested by men, the statistics are very high for underreporting because there's so much shame and embarrassment because the people blame themselves. They don't blame the person who has done it.
Let's talk about those statistics
Sure.
because some say 1 in 4 girls have been sexually abused and 1 in 6 boys. Do you think that's too low or too high?
Well, the statistics are very hard to get specific on, but that's viewed as fairly reliable by a number of people that I work with around the country who do research in the area. And and it combines both intrafamilial, fathers and daughters, et cetera, or in the area we know of institutional abuse, which is church abuse in the scouting program, or now what we're seeing really in sports. And sports is going to be the next large area where people feel permission to start coming out.
Well, I want to ask you about the sports world because do you think it's more prevalent in the sports world than these other areas?
Well, I don't think it's more prevalent, but the problem in the sports world is many parents who are watching today or people who participate in sports as kids is that coaches have this isolated time with kids. It's one of the few areas where there is permissible touching, for instance, in teaching kids basketball skills or football skills. So there's an area that they typically would not be able to do if they were just typical adults in a relationship with a child. So we're going to see a lot more of that. There's a lot of isolated one-on-one time, which is very dangerous.
Well, that being the case, what needs to be done to stop this?
Well, I mean, that's a question everybody's going to try. That's the big question. I think the main thing is people have to be aware that people who do these things to children are everywhere, and that it's not the guy outside in a raincoat waiting for kids to come out of school. And it's a lot of subtle cues you have to watch with your children in terms of being alone with adults who you don't know, even if they seem to be the best coach. Like when I have kids, and I always was concerned, who's the coach with my kid? You have to engage these adults. And the parents who do that, who engage the adults, who find out who's taking care of their kids during the day in sports, those parents will have their kids be safer.
All right, we all need to keep that in mind. Thank you so much, Paul Mones, joining us.